And we finish off the sports comebacks with the Comeback Player of the Year. And the following nominees are for the Comeback Player of the Year award. First, Henry Burris, followed by Kyle Schwarber, J.A. Happ, Rick Porcello, Justin Verlander, Jose Fernandez, and Tom Brady. Now, if you look at a guy like a Kyle Schwarber, here's a guy that made his debut last year with the Chicago Cubs, made an immediate impact, helping them in the playoffs until they got to the NLCS, where they were eliminated. Look at this year. Kyle Schwarber entered the 2016 season on the disabled list and stayed there throughout the entire year. Nobody expected Kyle Schwarber to even be a part of the playoff roster. Nobody expected him to even travel with the team during the playoffs, but yet he did, and he was able to compete. He was able to play alongside the Cubs en route to their World Series win. No one expected it, and yet it happened. What a comeback for Kyle Schwarber. You look at a guy like a Rick Porcello. A lot of you know how much he struggled in his career, both with Detroit and with Boston, and here he is in 2016 winning 20-plus games, winning the American League Cy Young. What an incredible turnaround for Rick Porcello. You look at a guy like a Jose Fernandez. Sadly, he is no longer with us. But if you look at his story, 2013 looked like he had it all. He won the Rookie of the Year. Many expected him to be the future of the Miami Marlins organization. 2014, you found out he needed Tommy John surgery, and he was going to miss the remainder of that year and part of 2015. It took him until 2016 to finally have another full season, and he made an impact with an incredible comeback performance that led him being in Cy Young talks. He had an incredible comeback run, and sadly, he is no longer with us. You look at a guy like a Tom Brady, who's been through a lot of controversy, who's been through a lot of problems, and yet here he is missing the first 4 games of the season as a result of suspension, and here he is guiding the New England Patriots to the playoffs. You look at a guy like a J.A. Happ, a journeyman, who this year broke out as one of the better starters on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays had one of the best pitching staffs in the AL. And that was mostly as a result of him. He had an incredible comeback year. But there was one winner, both from the fans and from the committee, and it was Detroit Tigers pitcher Justin Verlander. Here's a guy that has been through a lot of struggles, a lot of inconsistencies. Ever since he won both the American League Cy Young and the American League MVP, it has pretty much been a downward spiral. He had a pretty good 2012 season. He had a decent 2013 season. Once you got into 2014 and 2015, it was not the same Justin Verlander. He had to deal with inconsistencies. He had to deal with a couple injuries too. But you look at his 2016 campaign, and we finally got the Justin Verlander of old. And that earns him Comeback Player of the Year. So congrats to Justin Verlander, and we'll be back with more awards.